The What It Takes Radio Company would like to help you understand another thing that we do, the coaching experience with me, Stan Houston. And let me explain some things to you today. For instance, I may have been one of the originals of all the coaches around the world today, and I might have something that could be helpful to you. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Stan Houston, sometimes called Stan the Radio Man, but oftentimes I'm also called the Coachman. Yeah, I've been involved in radio for, over 45 years. And that's been very, very helpful to me because then I also discovered when I was helping a young woman put together a business plan some 30 plus years ago, she turned to me and said, I know what you are. I, I read about people like you. You're a business coach. And I said, I've never thought of it that way, but I guess I am. And I was one of the first to actually say, okay, I am a coach. And I've been doing this for a long, long time. I've made a lot of mistakes. You always do. But I've also learned a great deal about what it takes to be successful, to be one of the top 3% of world-class business and life performers. And what I'd like to do today is just reintroduce myself to some of you. Now, I tell you those things because I used to begin my career as a coach by talking very simply. Uh, I would say something like this. Now, remember, at that time, the world's greatest golfer was even a celebrity. His name was Tiger Woods. And a man very well known, not just in the world of Italian opera, but in music, and again a celebrity, Luciano Pavarotti, the world famous Italian tenor. And so the question that I would oftentimes ask people is, what do Tiger Woods, the golf professional, golf champion, and Luciano Pavarotti, the world-class musician, what do they have in common? Well, it doesn't seem that there's too much in common, but I said, let me tell you. First of all, they're the very best at what they do. They've worked very hard. They've trained very, very hard, and they are now world-class. They're the best. That's right. One of the reasons they're the best is they really love what they do. That's why they put so much work into it that it's what they almost were made for. They discovered what they loved to do, and they loved it, and they did it. Because they loved it so much and were so good at it, number three, they made a lot of money at it. Yes, they were the best. They loved what they did, and they made a lot of money. But there's one more. Even those people, even those guys, they had a coach. Because you see, no matter how good you get, the best always have a coach. And even in their prime, they had a coach. They coached others, but they also had a coach, and in some cases, they had a number of different coaches. And so what I'd like to do today is briefly explain to you a little bit of my audition to perhaps be a coach for you and your organization too. Now, here's the deal right now. Most of what I was teaching years ago, and it was very appropriate and very good, a lot of it was timeless, but let me tell you this, the world has changed rapidly in that time. And a lot of the things that were true at that time aren't quite as good as they were at that time. Some of them are no longer true at all. But I would like to try and help you understand what you might want to do and think about today. And what I have done, briefly, I'd like to share it with you. Someone asked me, said, Stan, what are the 7 things, 3 things, 5 things that you would tell somebody who's ambitious to make it in the marketplace today? What do they have to learn? And I said, good challenge. And I said, let me think about that. And then I came back to them and said, they have to hear 7 stories. That's right, because you see, storytelling is the only really effective means of communication. And I found out that when I was telling stories, that's when I was best at a coach. It wasn't when I had all the facts and figures and information and all of that good stuff that I learned in coaching school and from my experiences. It's when I simply did these 7 words. Please let me tell you a story. Well, I believe there are 7 stories you're going to have to learn. And so, if you'll pardon me, I've written this down. I actually know it all by heart, but I want to make sure that I say it right. The first story you have to learn, and here is discovering and deciding how to live the life of the successful select 3%. Because only 3 people out of 100 know the key to success today. The people with purpose, power, poise, and a plan. They know who they are and they know what they want. But only 3% of the population fits that category. So you got to know that story, and then you got to know how to do it. Number 2, you have to remember that adversity is part of the plan, and you know how to build, because bad and tough things will happen. So you're going to have to learn how to build a reservoir of radical resilience in your life and business. Yeah, you're going to have to learn how to be pretty tough, pretty rugged. You're going to have to learn how to be resilient, radically so. Number 3, going back to my many years watching Star Trek, you need to know how to build your own Starship Enterprise. There are 7 questions you need to ask and know the answer to make your pitch and build a blueprint pattern for business today. If you want to know how to build your own business, you need to know the answer to 7 big questions. And I will tell you the story of what those 7 questions are. By the way, not only will they help you learn, do, but they will also give you your pitch, both to customers and perhaps to investors and partners and people who might want to come alongside of you. You have to become a storyteller, because all business is show business. And as I said before, storytelling is the only effective means of communication. You can give lots of information, but it's seldom effective. I didn't say information is bad or data is bad, but let me tell you, facts and figures and data and features and all of that stuff, it might be helpful to you, but if you want people to actually move, you have to touch them not only in their head, but perhaps move their spirit, touch their heart. You have to help them move inside of themselves. And that happens when they hear a good story. All right? Number 5, you're going to have to become a broadcaster and an actor and a bit of an artist, so you can do personal performance marketing and building your reputation and gaining influence and impact by being successful in the mass media. You got to know how to do exactly what I'm doing right now, how to be behind the microphone and speak clearly as a broadcaster, as a performer, and you got to be in front, of the camera and be able to perform. It's no good just to describe what you do. You have to demonstrate how good you are. So I'm very clear about this. If your coaching doesn't include a way for you to learn how to use the podcasting, the streaming, the radio, the video, the mass media marketing in a way to perform for your clients and your colleagues, your customers, and for those you are seeking to attract. We don't prospect, we attract, because we put on the best demonstration, not just the best presentation. We tell the stories that help people figure out, you know what you're talking about. You seem to be a person I can trust. You are the difference. That's right. Whatever you're selling, somebody else is selling it. And they are not going to just buy it from you unless they also buy you. They have to buy you first, and we teach you how to sell yourself. And then you can sell your stuff, and then you can sell your services. You're going to have to learn how to be a coach and a mentor, both to your clients and your customers. Think of your sales as mentoring, as teaching, as helping. And you have to do the same thing for your colleagues. Today's business leader has to be a teacher and a mentor and a coach. Everything else can be done by somebody else, but the person who will make a difference is the one who not only has a great heart, mind, and spirit for strategy. They can see things that other people cannot see. They can understand things other people don't quite get. And they have a great understanding of human nature. And as a result of that, what they do is they learn how to sell by coaching, persuade by mentoring. They learn how to be a person of influence. Years ago, a guy named Dale Carnegie wrote a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. We actually have a simple program called The Impact Factor, and we're in the business of helping you make good friends, reach your audience, and be able in some way to attract them into your circle of commerce. And in the circle of commerce, you can cut the deal, because all of life is making good deals, both for you and your clients and customers. Uh, Finally, you're going to have to give some attention to your life. That's right, not just your business. Years ago on that Star Trek show, there was a character who was half human and half Vulcan. Some of you are old enough to remember that, or you've seen the reruns. His name was Spock. And he always had a saying that said, as kind of a greeting, live long and prosper. You know what? That's the goal, to live long and prosper, but to do well and serve others. May you live long and prosper. You got to learn that the art of doing good business is primarily the art of good living. It's about teaching you how to treat every person you meet as the most important person in the world. It's about getting people to trust you, to follow you, believe in you, vote for you, recommend you, and buy from you. That's the deal. And we're in the business of helping you do that so that you can become fully alive. One of my favorite mentors was an African American philosopher teacher. His name was Howard Thurman. And he was the mentor to the world famous civil rights leader in America, Martin Luther King Jr. And he was teaching a group of young people in his college, and they were thinking about how to make their mark in the world, how to go out and make things happen. And so one of them asked, well, what do we have to do? What do we have to do that? And he simply said this: discover what makes you become fully alive. Find out what makes you become fully alive. And then go out and do that. Because what the world really needs is men and women, people in the marketplace, people in politics, people in government, people in all of the major institutions of our society and of our world who are fully alive. So learn how to do that and be that. Be fully alive. Ultimately, the goal of our coaching is to help you flourish. That's right, flourish and become fully alive. My name is Stan, the radio man, Stan the coach, and I'd be glad to help you. Reach out to me, just as it says, stanhouston at gmail.com, stanhouston at gmail.com. Tell me your story, and then tell me how perhaps you'd like to have some help. I can help you. And if I can't, I'll tell you so. But if I can't, I can probably tell you somebody who can, because that's what we do. We coach people to help them become world-class performers in a worldwide marketplace. That's what we do, and we do it well. Blessings on you. Till we talk or meet again, bye for now.